Greetings and peace to you all. This is Umi. Thank you guys for joining me for this video. And I wanted to do a sort of quick mental health check-in, and it's about toxicity. And I was at the gym this morning, minding my business, and I had a quick vision of a man walking up to a tree, pouring out a cup of liquid at the base of the tree and walking away. It was like a real quick vision. And so initially I was like, oh, maybe I'm supposed to water an idea or, plant some seeds, a business idea. Or, I was thinking maybe a little more optimistically than what Spirit had in mind, because then I quickly heard the word like toxicity. And it reminded me that a few days ago, one of my children left like a cup on my desk, which I thought it was water. And I went and poured it on one of my plants, because I was like, instead of pouring it out, I just pour bottles of water or cups. When they leave water around, I just pour it in my plants. But when I poured it out, I like smelled something and I was like, oh no, it wasn't pure water like I thought. And so I immediately regretted pouring it onto the plant, because obviously it can damage the roots and kill the plant. So this is directly related to toxicity and how people can consciously or unconsciously dump a lot of toxicity into our lives. And this is not intended to judge people or to make them feel bad about sharing their personal life experiences. However, if you don't know how to manage what people are bringing to the base of your tree, let's pretend you're that tree, and people are coming up to you, situations are happening in your life that represent something less than purity, less than a pure intention. And so that toxicity, what doesn't support your roots and your growth and bearing good solid fruit, that toxicity is very damaging. And we love our family, we even love our friends and people that we welcome into our lives, but that love could also mean, hey, I can't maintain this relationship if you're always being so negative. I say I'm going to work out and you try and talk me out of it. I say I'm eating a salad and you make me feel like a loser for eating a certain way. If people are unconsciously dumping that toxicity, maybe you need to bring it to their attention, or just outright recognize the company you keep and the associations in your life don't support where you're trying to go, don't support your wellness, don't support your mental health, they don't support your spiritual development. I need to stop accepting things in my life that are damaging because they're toxic. So toxicity can also be our own consumption. It's not always external factors that people are bringing to us. A lot of times what we're choosing to consume, whether that is entertainment, that could be the foods we're eating. Very simply, the foods we're consuming really affect the brain, the actual organ brain, and therefore our thoughts and ideas and even memories that come up can often reflect negative things, painful things. We can have delusions and all types of deterioration of the brain that affects our mind. So you have to also take responsibility and accountability for what you're consuming physically and what you're consuming in terms of entertainment. Does your entertainment consist of a lot of pornography and violent films and listening to music that saturates your mind with death or drugs or sex, and then you're trying to be on a certain path, or you're trying to have harmonious relationships and things aren't adding up? So really reflect on your relationships and the company you keep. Reflect on your consumption of entertainment, of food, of the news and media. So those three things, in my opinion, are really key factors to whether people have toxic lives and lead toxic lives. Your relationships, your entertainment, your consumption. And once we work on our environment, which is a part of our consumption, being here in this space, I'm consuming the air in this space. This is my environment. It either supports me or it doesn't. It's either loud and messy and a lot of traffic, or it's quiet, it's peaceful, it's a gentle space where I can meditate, or I can read, or I can enjoy leisure. So you have to create the kind of space you desire. And trust me, I know these things sometimes take time. It for me took several years before I kind of got into a good headspace enough to start to control my environment and control, even with my children, it was just times where I felt that there were certain things out of my control when it came to parenting. And so as I've been praying and speaking over my life and speaking the things I desire in my life, very specifically, God, please help me to get my house in order, very specific about the things that I was speaking, but I wasn't just speaking it out, with hopes that things will come to pass. I was speaking it and also putting in the work. I was speaking it and also having faith that by doing X, Y, and Z, by implementing these steps, my life will change. Things will get better. I will stop being so moody or irritated. And so it's been a work, but toxicity is very real and it's very damaging. And I think sometimes we overlook just how damaging things can be. And especially when it comes to our consumption. And so I want to conclude by saying, You know, yes, Umi, I know toxicity is real, but what? Fast, please. I know that seems so maybe dated for some people, but fasting for spiritual cleansing, mental, emotional, and physical cleansing cleanses away the toxicity, like a good strong rain, lightning storm, what it does for the plant life and the trees outside after a good rain. So sometimes you need to do a good purge, a letting go, a fast. 24 hours you can fast. You can do it. I know you can do it. We're not making excuses moving forward. Yes, be gentle on yourself, but yes, be hard on yourself. Don't be so gentle that you make excuses for every opportunity to be liberated from a bad situation. And don't be too hard on yourself where when you fall down, you're down and you stay down and you just allow life to keep beating you up. So the hardness means be a little more disciplined. Put in place those boundaries. Stop making excuses why you can't do this or that, or you're still allowing that toxic person in your life because they're nice or they helped you out back in 2005. Like, stop. We don't have to keep making these messy excuses about our lives, and we can start implementing the knowledge we have. You can reach out and get support. You can email me, Umi, I just need 5 minutes. Can we stretch together? Sure, I'm all for it. I'll text you. There's been people I've done sessions with, and I wanted to assist them in being accountable to getting their lives in order when it came to stretching every morning. So if that's something you all feel you need, is just a little extra boost to get yourself in the right position for change, then okay, speak it out. Ask and you shall receive. So I really feel that in order to move through these particular times we're living in and what's ahead, you've got to be on top of your fasting. You've got to be on top of your consumption. You've got to be on top of the literature and the things that you're reading that either supports you or is damaging you. Check in with yourself. Self-love is the best love. Pay attention to your mental health needs. Know that you are not alone. Even when you feel alone in your space, even when you feel like you have nobody that you can talk to that's going to listen and understand, or I don't have the money for therapy, I don't have the, listen, spirit is accessible 24 hours a day and it's so real, so real. Pray, meditate, ask, because when we do these things, we're really putting energy toward the results that we want to see in our lives. But if we just complain and we just nag and we're just bored, depressed, dissatisfied, we're going to stay in that same cycle. And how depressing is that? So lift yourself up, get out of that cycle by putting these things into practice. It's possible. It's a day by day thing, moment by moment. I'm going to say it's a moment by moment thing. I can do so well not eating sweets, and somebody has some delicious dessert, and in that moment, the desire can all of a sudden come back up. So it's a moment by moment. And in that moment, you make the best choice for you and your wellness. That's self-love. Not easy, but possible. So I wanted to share that with you all. Be encouraged, be inspired, find opportunities to help others. That can definitely take and lift the load off of your own personal situation. And it's about the law of reciprocity, the law of cause and effect. Do unto others as you'd have them do unto you. Sometimes when we are in service to others, this blesses our lives and changes our lives. So consider that also as a way to be lifted out of toxicity. Pour into other people purity and goodness and honesty. You know, pour into other people the things that you desire in your life. Encouragement, good words. Like, you can speak into other people's lives positive things that change and transform. So I'm going to shut the video off here. As you guys know, I'm available for personal one-on-one sessions. If there's some things you want to build on, you're going through an awakening, you're going through just changes, or you want to get more insight about detoxing and letting things go, or whatever is happening in your world, that information is available in the description. You can visit umispeaks.life and book your personal session. So thank you guys again for tuning in, and until next time, peace.